That doesn't mean a whole lot. But here we go. Line drive kick through the end zone, and the Bears will start at the 25-yard line. Two tight ends, two wide outs, and the delay to Cunningham, and he couldn't get started. He's dropped for a loss of 5 on the play. As they have right now. And on 2nd and 15, it's Cunningham taking the handoff and drop for another loss. And another handoff. And it's Cunningham again, this time a positive run up to the 29-yard line. Rookie Jeff Overbaugh out of San Diego State, as Patrick Scales suffered a season-ending knee injury. Line drive, Mario Alford on the return, looking for some room. The Bears have it covered, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Second-year man Cody Kessler out of USC starts at quarterback, and a quick toss outside to Ricardo Lewis, second-year man out of Auburn.
But look how lean he is still as a defensive lineman. Going to be a good 5 technique, I believe.
On 2nd and 2, Matthew Days, the running back out of North Carolina State. They've been good in preseason. Starters especially, second unit has done well. This time it's a first down, Days carrying, and Jay Howard, number 95, in on the tackle.
In the game, so get the big fella some snaps, get him caught up to speed.
Here's Days, and he's brought down by Robertson Harris. And takes off. Good run by Kessler, slides down for a first down at the Bears' 46-yard line. How about that? Kessler on first down swings it out to Days. And gets down to about the 42-yard line for the Browns. Days gets pushed back and knocked down. Kessler drops back, being rushed. The pass may have been tipped. Late flag comes in downfield at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, a couple of flags. You wonder if it was a forcible blow on the quarterback.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 35. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Your man out of LSU. Kessler throws outside, and it's broken up. Intended for Ricardo Lewis, and well covered that time at the Bears' 37. Kessler quick outside, incomplete.
It's a big game tonight, I think, for Lamar Houston.
On 3rd down, Kessler throws, incomplete. Colquitt punts for the Browns. Daniel Braverman back deep for the Bears inside his 10-yard line, waits for a fair catch at the 7.
You don't know what you're gonna see in the 4th preseason game. You know the type of fronts coverages you're gonna see. He's got to be able to react to it, but you got to prepare for the game that you mentioned. Became the first quarterback to go in the draft. Very athletic.
Langford carrying close to the 15-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play.
Missed the first 6 weeks of the season, which makes it more competitive with Benny Cunningham, because Tariq Cohen is going to make the roster, and certainly Jordan Howard. But really, Jeremy Langford, because he hasn't played, he's got to show why he became the draft pick they wanted him to be a couple of years ago.
Mario Alford back deep for the Browns. Donald with a strong leg. Alford at the 32. Trying to get outside. Gets by a couple, and the flag comes in, and another one.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 56. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Cleveland.
Donate, and this is the same message posted here at the stadium, here at Soldier Field.
In fact, it's good to see the American spirit is alive, the way everybody is reacting to help everybody struggling down there.
And Lamar Houston with the message to the people in Houston. Lamar, a University of Texas man. He's trying to win a spot. And a big hit by Christian Jones. Brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Browns. They blitz his arm, they got him. Nick Kwiatkowski.
Watch it to the right guard side right here. Double A gap. You see the delayed blitz by both Kwiatkowski. Jones goes first to take the running back.
I like that terminology.
Cross dog in the A gap. A gap between the center and guard.
Braverman steps out of bounds as he caught the punt by Colquitt. Of course, he's got his great post-game show after tonight's game. Trubisky still in from the 15. This is Joshua Rounds, who was a pickup during training camp. Trubisky handing off to Rounds again. Thus far, no passes. They are not putting Trubisky in any kind of jeopardy here. And the delayed handoff to Rounds. Breaks one tackle, gets up to the 15-yard line.
Getting used to the, last week what was an issue in Tennessee was, a couple of the delayed games because of the play clock and just managing everything. They're just trying to get him up to speed. The only way to do that is to allow him to play, even if it's running the football, calling plays in the huddle.
And he's developed rapidly, and perhaps more rapidly than a lot of people expected. Brown start from the 36, no gain on the play. Terrence McGee on the carry. Cody Kessler for Cleveland, started 8 games last season for the Browns. In trouble and throws it toward the sideline, incomplete. There's Kessler, again being rushed, gets rid of it to McGee. He's got a couple of blockers, turns it into a big gainer, and is knocked out of bounds in Bears territory at the 43-yard line, a gain of 19. In at running back.
Caught a lot of footballs in college.
Takes the handoff and is wrestled down at the 37-yard line by Christian Jones, a gain of 6. All the sports covered, and Lou has a great post-game show after tonight's game. Big-time pressure and the second sack of the game for the Bears. 3rd and 13 from the Bears 46. Kessler throws, incomplete. And Colquitt's punt. Good high kick. Braverman lets it fly over his head and into the end zone for a touchback.
All it is really about technique and his blocking. He had 2 good blocks last week that led to touchdown passes by the quarterback. So it is getting better. One to Deion Sims, where he's blocking on the end of the line for Mike Lennon. Then later, the 45-yarder to Tanner Gentry.
Formation, offense. The wide receiver was covering the inside receiver. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
Got to see that. Make sure guys are lined up. Hey, you on, you off. You got to be able to dictate and tell guys what to do if need be.
Trubisky looking, finally gets rid of it, and through the hands of Joshua Rounds.
See if he's able to rebound here in this ball game.
3 wide receivers in. Look like, let's see, did somebody jump offside or was it drawn off?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 99. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
For an easy 5 yards.
Langford, the running back, 3 wide receivers in. Trubisky throws it, completes to Deontay Thompson up the 27-yard line. Now with the wind at his back end, again, the Browns jump across.
Credit Mitchell, changing up the snap count.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 65. A 5-yard penalty is enough for a first down.
Barrett, they feel, is the real deal as a pass rusher.
He's a once-in-a-generational type of player. Really has a ton of athleticism. Blew it up in terms of his combine. And the Browns feel they got a good one.
Late hit. Oh, didn't need that. No call for that.
Quarterback's intention was to run out of bounds.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense with a late hit out of bounds, shoving the quarterback to the ground. 15 yards, automatic first down, Chicago.
To the whistle or even to the sideline, a little bit too much on that play.
2 tight ends in. Langford carrying, and he's brought down short of the line of scrimmage.
An easy first down. That's playing quarterback, and that's good to see.
3 wide receivers in, and that ball is dropped off the shoulder pads of Adam Shaheen on 3rd and 10. Trubisky steps up, his pass deflected, and caught by Victor Cruz, but he was down just across midfield. Good job by Cruz.
Holding. Offense number 76. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Mario Alford standing at his own 10-yard line. Good high kick. Alford lets it go over his head, bounces at the 5 and into the end zone. Hey, everybody loves that rivalry. The Packers 47%. On first down, a leaping one-handed grab by Jordan Leslie, the first-year man out of BYU. And Leslie is a Houston native.
And he did. He laid out for that one. He sees, obviously, the Bears coming up.
McGee is stopped. Lamar Houston, the first man there. Houston has really been active.
Oh boy, is a good team. They may decide the AFC home field advantage when they take on the New England Patriots, and it will be in Heinz Field.
Kessler was hit hard as he released, and the pass was incomplete, intended for Jordan Leslie. Bears with 5 defensive backs in. Kessler pressured again, gets away. And he is brought down, but I think he's got enough. Yes, he's got enough for a first down, but there's a flag. Lamar Houston was rushing.
Holding. Offense. Number 72. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
And as we've said before, if it's not making the Bears, it's about making some other team that might be watching. Good play.
He almost
Houston
made that
with
play.
Pressure on that play.
Knows it.
And if McPhee gets healthy, he's certainly a big-time player and a big-time pass rusher. Braverman backs up to the 11-yard line. Weaving return, a good one. He's tripped up. Oh, man, it could have been a long return. He's into the second quarter. Now Connor Shaw takes over. He's the number 4 man on the depth chart. And he runs out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. One-time Cleveland Brown.
Doctors right before the end of training camp. Now finds himself back on the field. It's been quite a journey.
Completes to Shaheen. There's a flag on the play. What's the call?
Offside. Defense, number 52. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
All right, Bears will take that. 3 wide receivers in the game. Shaw with time, goes outside and misses. Try to get it to Victor Cruz.
He says, can a quarterback provide a spark? I think you get a feel of the energy he provides as a player to a football team.
Good throw and catch. The catch by Deontay Thompson. 2 tight ends in. The carry by Benny Cunningham. Slipped one man, is brought down. Short pickup on the play.
You get rid of a big contract in Joe Hayden, who the Steelers in division pick him up in a heartbeat, but yet you trade for Brock Osweiler. I mean, you want to pay that big contract. So
Grasu, the center. Low snap, Shaw takes it, throws deep for Deontay Thompson, overthrown. Thompson was in a little bit of a 8th punt of the game total for both teams. No points in the game, however. High kick, bounces inside the 20, takes a Bears roll, stopped at the 15. Cody Kessler has played the entire first half for the Browns. And throws on first down, pick up to the 20-yard line.
Find a fix at that position, and Hugh Jackson's going to have to protect him a lot of ways, but they feel his upside and potential are going to be tremendous for the Cleveland Browns, but you got to protect him. He can't be taking hits. They've had some tight coverage, and they've been stout and in the backfield pretty much all night.
Kessler swings it out to Days, and Days with a good pickup. Across the 40, he's got a first down. Jones Quartet, the other safety. Kessler quick outside to Ricardo Lewis, and Jonathan Banks wrestles him out of bounds after a gain of 3. Terrence McGee in at running back for the Browns. On second down and 7, Kessler throws short, completes it to Leslie, and he's inside Bears territory. He's got a first down.
They need some young guys to really step up. They may go outside and look outside of that team, and that's why trade talks have commenced.
Blitz was on. Webb didn't get there. The pass is complete to the tight end, David Njoku. Pressure on Kessler. He throws and completes it. And it's in for the touchdown. Nell Hall on the receiving end.
See it right there. Gets caught up a little bit. Now it's a fade stop. Always keep your eyes towards the receiver. You saw him. He almost did a twirly bird.
By Hall staying in bounds. Here's Cody Parkey, the veteran kicker, puts it up and through. The toe was in. The heel wasn't down. Alton Howard has it go into the end zone and then out of the end zone. Champion.
And hopefully, like you said, on the road to recovery.
Yes.
I know you had a nice conversation today, Sam. Very encouraging.
Completion to Victor Cruz up to the 30-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play.
Hooks it up, makes the catch like the tough, savvy receiver he is.
Shaw throwing to the tight end, Shaheen. Short pickup of 3 on the play up to the 34-yard line. Kendall Wright is a similar position. Wright has won a spot. Shaheen on the catch.
Used them out of the offense, going in a different direction, surrounding themselves with Odell Beckham and Brandon Marshall.
And with the season-ending injury to Cam Meredith, I mean, it opens up a spot, but he's a different type receiver than Meredith.
And he is a savvy receiver, very polished.
Shaw flushed out of the pocket, throws it away. Bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Bears. Langford out of the backfield. Shaw looking deep. Down the sideline, a little too high for Deontay Thompson. Mario Alford deep for the Browns. High kick. Alford waves for a fair catch. And around the 12-yard line, 41-yard punt, no return. There's a flag around midfield.
I mean, he has been fantastic.
During the kick, holding return team number 50. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down, Cleveland.
Terrence McGee on the carry, couple of yards on the play. C.J. Wilson as the Bears look for depth on the defensive end. Kessler throwing outside, completes it to Rashad Higgins. Flags fly, and that's against false start against the Browns.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
C.J. Wilson on the defensive line. Pressure. Coward got a hand on him, then the sack.
TE game put some pressure, and it worked effectively.
On second down, Kessler's throw is incomplete, intended for Jordan Leslie.
No home for good.
Final seconds of the first half. Terrence McGee carrying. Stays in bounds, taken down at the 25, and that's it for the first half. Special teams, another factor that we'll touch on. Certainly that'll be a factor in decision making. Strong kick by Aguayo through the end zone. With C.J. Wilson, Rashad Coward, and Jay Howard, the defensive line. Gain of 4 on the play. Present and future. And Deshaun Kaiser. Hogan's pass knocked down.
Coward, nice play.
Notre Dame, big, strong kid with a strong arm. Can he be consistent enough? That pass is complete up at the 40-yard line. A first down to David Njoku. Side linebackers, John Timu, number 53, and Kelvin Shepard, number 49 for the Bears. Days spinning and is brought down at the 44, gain of 3 on the play. On second down, Hogan being rushed by Irving, who hits him, and it's a live ball recovered by the Browns. Sack of the game for the Bears. Here's 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Hogan being rushed. Gets rid of it and completes. Oh, good play to Jordan Leslie.
Blitz continues. It's a nickel blitz. And there you see B.W. Webb streaming off the inside. All the blockers are tied up, and he comes free.
Tough play by Hogan hanging in there. Here's Days carrying. Matthew Days down to the 45-yard line. Blitz coming. It's picked up. The pass complete. Webb on the tackle. 26 at the safeties. Hogan rolling and throwing, completes it to the tight end. John Timu with the tackle. 2nd and 8. Bears rush 4. A little dump off to McGee, and he's brought down by Coward. Comes to the right side. Good protection for Hogan, but the pass incomplete. The Browns attempt a 53-yard field goal. Zane Gonzalez is good.
Got in the rhythm last week against the Tennessee Titans, and just How much more comfortable are you in this offense of what you're going to be asked to do?
I definitely hope to be more a part of the passing game. I want to catch 40 to 50 passes and things like that. It just helped the team out in different ways, so they just can't scheme on me every time I'm in. There's a running play, so I definitely want to catch passes this year.
Like not playing this fourth preseason game, Jordan?
I do, but you still want to be out there because you don't like missing the game and stuff like that. But I do not like playing, so.
Jeremy Langford, the running back, takes the pass and is upended. Short pickup.
Defensive backs would do that throw tackle, and to me, that's a dangerous tackle. It's very dangerous for a player's knees.
O'Donnell with the punt. Alford with the reception at the 27. Gets outside and looked like he ran into his own man. Defense remains the same. Quick toss outside. B.W. Webb had one man go by him.
Obviously, with the Houston injury, they need him in a pinch.
Terrence McGee on the carry. Wrestled down by the inside linebacker. McGee stopped in the backfield. Good penetration by John Timu. Colquitt to punt. Daniel Braverman deep for the Bears. Good kick. Fair catch, wave 4. Braverman takes it at the 7. 60 the right tackle, and Diego Joseph is the left tackle, number 68. Spinning away was Freddie Stevenson in at fullback, number 43. The play fake by Connor Shaw, and he's sacked for a safety.
No, you're retreating in your red zone, especially it's a deep play action pass. Okay, protection can't hold forever. You got to see the shirts barreling down on you.
Bears with a free kick, and O'Donnell lets it fly back to the 16-yard line. Mario Alford on the return is stopped at the 30 and pulled back. From the 30, Hogan off the play fake, and the pass is complete. Big hit by Deion Bush.
Great hit, but the timing of the throw by Hogan is what made it happen.
McGee flag on the play. McGee picks up about 2 on the play. Bears will open the regular season at home against the Atlanta Falcons.
Formation. Offense. Number 79 is on the end line of the scrimmage. The 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
On 1st and 15, Hogan puts it up. It's tipped and falls incomplete. W. Webb. Hogan handing off on 2nd down. Pick up a 4 on the play. McGee.
Very accurate on his passes. Hits the touchdown pass to Deion Sims, and it's really it's about preparation, blown coverage here.
Wide open.
By Chicago.
And going in for the touchdown is Randall Telfer.
In the back of the secondary, and we'll have to see here what the coverage. Well, you see the free safety taken off in the seam route. No corner drop to the backside. So I don't know if that was B.W. Webb.
At that position as well. Extra point by Cody Parkey is good. 70 yards in 4 plays, and the big touchdown pass to Telfer. Alton Howard on the return for the Bears. Grabbed by the shoulder.
On the backside seam route.
2-back formation. Burton the fullback. The play fake by Connor Shaw. Rolling. Nobody open. He wanted to go to the fullback. Second sack for the Browns in the game. Roniker, the tight end.
That has to be a factor because now you'd be talking about Mike Burton. How many plays is our fullback going to play? Maybe we're better off keeping another tight end.
Connor Shaw's pass intended for Daniel Braverman, a little too high. He's averaged 46 yards per punt. This is his 8th of the game. Boy, is he getting a workout. That ball bounces short of the 30 and goes out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
Maybe the receiver still is not on this roster. Again, another tough decision for Ryan Pace, the general manager.
And the Bears will get the 3rd waiver pick. I have interviews with the players, get their assessment of preseason and what's to come. Adrian Amos on the tackle of Terrence McGee coming out of the backfield.
Now, I think we all understand preseason doesn't mean really anything at the end of the day, but you still want to win. This team has to find a way to win. and that's what Hugh Jackson's trying to establish.
Got some congratulations from the sideline after that hit. McGee is stopped by Kelvin Shepard.
Read it like a pro.
Hogan works out of the shotgun on 3rd and long. Bears rush 4. Hogan waits, throws, wide open. Once again, the tight end Seth DeValve. Bears 25-yard line. McGee stopped at the line of scrimmage and rejoined.
And our thoughts and prayers for you and your family and everybody in the Gulf Coast region, and for you to move here to the Midwest, get yourself involved in Vic Fangio's defense, and how quickly you've assimilated plays defensively, keeping them out of the end zone. How do you create that type of culture to Chicago Bears?
It just takes it's a mentality first and foremost, and it takes everybody doing it, man, not just one player. Man, I think he's coming along well, man, especially for a rookie. He's definitely got some of the tools, man. Definitely got a good pedigree, being under Saban. And I'm excited to play with him, and I think he's going to have a good year.
Good luck to you. Have a great season, Quentin.
Thanks
for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And like anything else, coming off of injury, and has really shown well early for the Chicago Bears.
This time he looked like he beat Jonathan Banks.
Yeah, it's just outside one-on-one. Again, you got to be in the right technique. Clearly beats him off the line of scrimmage. Banks looks like he's hobbling a little bit, but clearly was beaten in a stride for stride, easy throw and touchdown. Good decision maker, pro-style offense, so he's assimilated to the NFL pretty quickly.
The extra point by Zane Gonzalez off the upright. No good. Jordan Leslie. Zane Gonzalez kicks it off. Alton Howard takes it 9 yards deep and takes a knee. Total offense. And a very little gain on that run by Joshua Rounds.
By that, people just think, hey, he's going to line up screens, draws. No, I think they'll line him up even in the slot, have him run receiving routes like corner routes. He is that quick of a player, and I think that savvy of a player in space.
The ball was taken away, but it's marked down. Taylor Boggs, the center. Shaw with a pass again to Pruitt for a first down up at the 35-yard line.
And pace, if Kyle Long is not ready for week 1, there's a decision to be made there.
Rounds with a good run on first down up to the 41-yard line out of Kutztown, and certainly the Bears hope it'd be a spot for him. Flag down on the play in the Bears backfield.
Move into guard, you got to play a lot quicker.
Offense, number 57, the 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
That's on the center. Taylor Boggs called for the hold.
Is he going to be? I know he's practiced a little bit. Where is he at health-wise?
He passed the Rounds. He slipped and went down across the 35 to the 36. On third down, 3rd and 9, Shaw runs away from trouble, being chased and brought down. Tried to throw it away, but he was down. Well, it's ruled an incomplete pass by the referee.
He is. He's going to say it's down.
Well, coach wants to get in there.
In the field, believing that the quarterback was down prior to the pass.
He'd be doing his team a disservice.
If this were a regular season game, he would have thrown the flag, and to me, it looks like he was down.
Right knee was down. Was the ball leaving his hand? Looks like his index finger and hand are still on the football. So it'll probably be ruled down right there as a sack.
Yeah. Blakeman with the official announcement.
After review, the quarterback's knee was down with the ball positioned at the 26-yard line. The ball we placed there, it'll be 4th down at that spot.
Good high kick. Hall takes it at the 27. And is brought down at the 35-yard line. Terrence McGee fights his way up close to the 40 for a 4-yard pickup. A couple of injuries in the game. Blitz from the outside by Amos was picked up. McGee is brought down. A good tackle by John Timu.
Now Fuller's stepped in and played well. I think they feel good about where it could be, but need to get 100% healthy against facing the Atlanta Falcons week 1.
Timo with a good job of chasing down Kevin Hogan and taking him down.
It's such a significant injury when you look at the patella tendon and what he went through. I'd be apprehensive to play him in a 65-snap game right off the bat.
Braverman, wait for a fair catch. It bounces down. It rolls in Brown's favor and stops at the Bears' 5-yard line.
Yes, it is. And it's important for the Bears. They've got to tag one of those teams as a confidence builder. As I mentioned, 3 out of 4 are playoff teams, and certainly one is on the rise in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We're going to show everybody we're over it.
That's
we're
right.
past it. And we're as good as we were last year, if not better. There's Connor Shaw throwing, and a little behind Alton Howard.
That Trubisky is ready to come off the sideline, and I believe that they do. It could be an interesting decision because I do think there should be some teams inquiring about him in a trade.
That's Mike Cole Pruitt. What an effort. Great effort by Pruitt. Made an excellent catch and kept fighting off the defenders.
Play action pass. Connor Shaw sits in the pocket. Little corner route. Nice touch over the top to get it over the corner. And Pruitt goes up and makes a play on a wide corner route.
Trying to make this team, but there's a lot of pretty good looking tight ends. And Shaw is taken down. The flag is thrown.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense. Number 65. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Here you go Joseph, the left tackle, helping out his quarterback. Freddie Stevenson in at running back. Shaw takes off. A little shake and bake, and he took a hit for it. Goes down at the 30-yard line. And the handoff. And a good run by Joshua Rounds inside the 20, a first down. Out of the shotgun on first down. Joshua Rounds inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Pickup of 6.
Headset.
Low snap. Shaw's got it. Being rushed. Runs away. Inside the 10. Couple of flags on the plays. He's brought down at the 5-yard line. It's, as always, Jim, it's a pleasure to be with you. I love it because you are all ball.
Holding number 67. That penalty's declined. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 57. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. We'll replay. Second down.
Vice President of Communications. Great job by them all. Shaw takes off again and gets, boy, he's taking a couple of hits. Being rushed. Got rid of it to Rounds with a couple of blockers. He's got a first down. There's a flag down at the 10-yard line.
And you're right, and it's tough as a player when you know you're not going to get the reps.
Holding on the defense, number 33. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Braverman and Gentry are the wideouts. Here's Rounds. Trying to bounce off, but he's pulled back. Gain of about a yard. We're inside a minute. By Leonard Floyd, Eddie Goldman. Rounds again. Bouncing off. Good run. Good effort by Joshua Rounds. Picks up 5 to the 9-yard line.
Good second and third effort by Rounds.
11 seconds to go. Trubisky wants to put it in the end zone. No, he throws underneath, and it's incomplete. Titus Davis in at wide receiver. Trubisky looking for the end zone, wanted to take off, and they wrestle him down. And the coaching staff didn't want that. They just want to see him get up healthy, and he does, and that's the end of the preseason. The Browns have beaten the Bears 25-0. And we wrap it up and get ready for the big cut down. 3 p.m. Chicago time Saturday. Cuts will be made.